Hi, Miss Jocelyn.
Hi, hello, morning.
Hi, my name is Crystal. I'll be your moderator today.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Let me just admit everybody else. Give me a moment.
Okay, how many person have signed up for this event?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not look at the registration. Hang on.
Okay.
You're representing the GES, right?
Yes.
Okay. Something was 2 June. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, so good morning. Welcome to the Law School Education Fair. This is our first virtual event. So I'm also still learning. So today we have Ms. Jocelyn Ting from GES Global Educational Services. And my name is Crystal. I'll be your moderator. So we'll be starting in about 1 minute. So Ms. Jocelyn, you have about 45 minutes, but I will let you know when it's at around 30-minute mark so that the students can get the chance to do some question and answer with you for 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So for participants, if you would like to ask questions, you could just unmute your own microphone, or you can type in the chat window and I'll try to catch up and as the speaker goes along, right? So without further ado, maybe Miss Jocelyn, you can start your presentation.
Yeah, sure. I'll share the screen from now onwards.
Yes.
Okay.
I've allowed you to share screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you all see my screen?
I could.
Okay, that would be great. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Without further ado, let me start the presentation. So basically, my introduction is going to be very short. It's just about briefing or even like introduction about GES Global. What are the services that we provided to all parents and students? Okay, so what is our core value? We always tell ourselves that we have to be sincere to all students and parents because making their students' welfare and their future career development is our top priority. So whatever consultation or even like advices that we give, will be very sincere. And of course, the information we provide to students are of course very genuine because we are not able to give you any false information. On top of that, we are trying to provide excellent services to all parents and students, especially in giving them personalized guidance on what are the things that they want to achieve. Normally, I will tell my students, if you have certain requirements, for instance, like what are your budget concerns, please let us know so that we can advise accordingly. So where have we been all this while? We have actually set our footprints in Cebu office since 2000. And then from then onwards, we have already expanded to 6 bigger cities in Sabah, Sarawak, and even in Semenanjung. Okay, they were started in Kuching, Bintulu, Miri, KK, as well as Santakan. In July 2013, we have expanded to Subang, which is in KL. That marks our footprints of our HQ in administrative operations. Okay. A lot of times I receive questions from parents and students. What are the services you provide? Okay, we actually provide free consultation and pre-assessment to students. If you have any questions about like how to choose a program and then which program should I choose, please let us know. And what we always do is that we will get students' results and then we will help students to map their qualification with the current result that they have, so that we can get the pre-assessment done prior to the application. Okay, on top of that, we also help students to apply to the universities, especially on the scholarship part, as well as on the acceptance. For instance, at the moment, somewhere they are having the somewhere special scholarships, whereby students are allowed to apply using their current midterms results. As long as you got 4 Bs in your midterm result, you are eligible to apply. And you don't have to apply for the program first. You just have to grab on to the scholarship first. Okay. Then after you have applied, we will also help students to do the acceptance. And accommodation arrangement is one of my always most concerned thing, because we do understand that especially locally or overseas, sometimes for students to get an accommodation, either the on-campus or off-campus accommodation is always one of the most tedious part. And we will try to advise students accordingly so that the budget of the on-campus and off-campus accommodation is within their ability. Okay, we will also help students to apply for visa. Okay, we do understand that during the pandemic time, some of the borders are closed. We will try our best to help students to sort out their student visas. For instance, like to UK, we will advise accordingly when can student apply for their visa, and for Australia, when the border is open, when should they apply and what are the process? Okay, we will provide all these advices. And before we send students off, we will also provide pre-departure briefing so that we will guide students on the do's and don'ts when they are in a new country or in a new city. We know that this will be important because when students first arrive in a new city, they are very lost, okay? And most importantly, before we send them off, we will also help them to arrange for the travel arrangement as well as the airport reception service. The air ticket booking, we will arrange with travel agents that we work along all this while. And we will try to get a few quotes for students so that their parents can, choose the airfares based on their ability, based on what they can afford. And the airport arrangement reception, we will try to check with the universities when are the dates that they provide free airport pickup service. but not necessarily that all universities will provide free airport pickup service. Some, they do require students to pay minimal fees, but we will advise students accordingly. Okay, and the most important things, all the above mentioned services are all free of charge. A lot of times parents and students come to me and ask me, Jocelyn, do you charge us anything? No, you don't have to pay anything. You only have to pay whatever the universities ask you to pay, the visa department asks you to pay, as well as the accommodation department asks you to pay. Okay. In coaching offices, you will always see me and Miss Chen, who will be attending most of the school fairs. So in case you need any assistance or further information, please feel free to take notes of our phone numbers. Feel free to call us or WhatsApp us. And don't forget that our services is always ready. We will try to assist and try to get all the information ready as soon as possible and get back to you as soon as possible. As for our offices, we are located near the BDC roundabout, near the Ika restaurants. So in case you cannot reach us, feel free to contact me or Jan. We will be able to send you the locality map. Okay. And you will be able to email us as well. If, let's say, you are shy to contact us, you feel that more secure to, to contact us via email, feel free to do so. At GES Global, we partner with most of the university around the world, and we believe that to help our students to pursue their dreams in different parts of the world is one of our biggest value and one of our goals. Okay, where do we place students to? Malaysia, of course, and one of the nearest country to us, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Europe, which includes Switzerland, Germany, Ireland, United States, as well as Canada. So along the way, if let's say you have any programs, okay, that you want to know from each of the countries, just feel free to text us. Okay. Regarding the pathway for students upon completion of the SPM, there are two routes actually. Upon completion of the SPM, if touch wood, their results are not good enough, they only manage to get 3 Cs in the SPM, they will be able to join the diploma program. Diploma program will take about 2 to 2.5 years. However, upon completion of this program, you are still eligible to join the degree program and you don't have to do year 1 because diploma is actually equivalent to university year 1. If students got 5 Cs and above in the SPM, then they are eligible to do the pre-U program. For instance, like Foundation in Arts, Foundation in Science, A-Levels, OSMET, Monash University Foundation year, South Australian Matriculation, Canadian pre-U, or even International Baccalaureate, etc. So upon completion, they will progress to their degree as long as they meet the grades that the degree requires, of course, and the prerequisite subjects. So my presentation is actually very short, but I would like to show a video to students and parents sharing our, what our students say about our services. So I'm going to share the testimony. I think something is wrong with my computer.
We're supposed to have sound.
Yes, it was supposed to have sound. Can you hear that?
Oh, now it works.
Ah. Actually, it's a very short testimonials from our students. Anyone have questions that they would like to ask us? My presentation is just very short.
Thank you, Miss Jocelyn. So any participants in this chat, in this event may ask the question by unmuting yourself or type in your question in the chat window. Is there anything else you could add? You still have a lot of time actually.
Yes, I know. But actually, because the reason why I don't want to list out a lot is because most of the time when students that have a question, they will come and approach us. Because at the end of the day, I believe that what students need is a personalized contact.
A tailor-made plan.
Yes. Like some of the students, they might be shy. They will say that, okay, I have certain budget, but I don't want to let anybody know. I can only afford to go to certain universities. Feel free to approach me or Jen. We will be more than happy to work within your budget. Because even though some students said, okay, the family are quite well off, but they might have siblings, you know, do, re, mi, fa, sol down there. And parents have to be fair and square, you know, to share all the costs. Yes. Especially when education has been so expensive nowadays.
That's right.
Yeah, but I do understand that a lot of times students will ask which country is the most expensive and which one is the cheapest.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask.
Because during my time, I would tell you, oh, Australia is very cheap. But nowadays, when we look back and we do the calculation, I would tell students Australia is actually very expensive.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got to let me know what program you want, okay, and what grades you want, and then what is your budget concern, and then what is within your budget. Then we will try to work things out for you. But of course, if let's say along the way we know that particular universities, there is a chance for you to get the scholarships, we will also try to help you to apply. But of course, if let's say the scholarship you are referring to are actually the external scholarship, that part then we will need to find out more information, because we normally will help students to apply for those internal scholarship offered by the universities and colleges. Like for instance, just now I've mentioned, just recently somewhere that has already opened up a Sunway Special Scholarship whereby students are allowed to apply using their current midterm result, which is good. because a lot of times students can only apply for a scholarship using the actual results. So if you are able to secure the scholarship using your current result, why not? It is something extra. So it is also upgradable when you got your results, actual result released later on. For instance, you only managed to secure 5,000 scholarships, grab hold on it first. By March, if your actual result released, you can always upgrade if you score a better grades. I ever seen students, they managed to grab hold of 8,000 scholarship, later on being upgraded to 15,000 or even 10,000. Yeah. So whatever you have now, I always tell students, just get it regardless what result you have now, as long as you meet the requirement of the scholarship application, just apply. Especially when during these days, you know, a lot of scholarships, they are trying to get in more students. So they were trying to lower down the entry for, especially at this time of the year when pandemic, you know, is such a concern, big concern. So grab hold of whatever you can now, and then decide later, get the scholarship offer. Yeah, and then decide later, because you don't have to pay a single cent to apply for this scholarship. Why not?
It's
And of
really
course,
good.
yes, during my time, we don't even get this kind
Yeah,
of.
during my time, I've never heard of that as well. And I didn't know that agency will help students apply for scholarship. I always thought that is something that the student have to find out themselves, or the parents have to fight for it themselves.
No, we will try to fight for students for all the benefits that they are able to receive. Yeah, like for instance, like accommodation. If let's say, like in Malaysia, sometimes on-campus accommodation are really limited. Okay, so we will try to work out with, like, you know, external parties that we work along with to help students to find external, like, you know, off-campus accommodation. Because apart from getting an offer, actually accommodation is my most concerned part. I can send student off, but what if they cannot find a place to stay?
Right.
Yeah. You know, safety always come first. Quality of their education always come first. And of course, a place to stay to keep them safe is also another concern.
Would the accommodation be always be on-campus hostel, or you are also looking into external accommodation arrangement like homestay or rental?
Rental, we do help. We do work with an agent called Uncle James Hostel. They do provide off-campus accommodation, but the reason why we would recommend Uncle James is because they have very good pastoral care.
Okay.
Like there was once my students at Taylor's, he was sick and parents couldn't reach him. So what the parents do is that they contact me. I will contact Uncle Dino, and he was really sick in the room that he is like him that kind of condition. So in the end, they have to brought him to see doctors.
Wow, that's very personalized service. You're almost like family.
Yeah.
So I see a question there at the group from Kathy. Maybe Jocelyn, you can address that.
Okay, in order to study overseas, we have to study L levels or IGCSE, right? Is it possible? Yes, you can apply to overseas using either SPM, IGCSE, or your L levels results. Okay, for IGCSE students, if let's say there is a January intake, even like SPM, maybe for this year SPM, you are not eligible to join the January intake because the SPM actual exam has been postponed until February. Okay, the last paper will be until 8th of February. So for those IGCSE students, if you are able to complete your exam by November, you will be in time to join the January intake overseas. Because certain countries, they do have January intake. For instance, UK, they have January and September intake. While Australia, they have January, February intake and a July intake. And sometimes in between, they will have a May intake as well. But of course, UK, certain provider, they will have a March intake, but March intake is always a very short term. So students, I would check on students' capabilities to see whether they are able to cope within that 6 months period. Because within March to August, you will have to complete your foundation, and September, you will have to progress to degree. So it's such a short time frame. So if you are not able to do well, so I would not recommend you. If your academic, you know, background is not strong enough, I would recommend you to join the September intake. Yeah, because if let's say you fail the subjects, you'll have to redo and then wait for another year. I think that is very, very important, which we will have to highlight to students. So Kathy, did I answer your questions? And you will be able to apply using your forecast result as well for overseas universities.
So Kathy, everything good? Any more questions?
Any more questions?
No more questions. So Kathy, just get in touch with Jocelyn or Jen.
Yeah.
They could provide a personalized, tailor-made education plan for you. So based on what I understand, basically what the students need to do is firstly tell you what course or what profession they want to pursue, and then you can find out where best to do it that fits their budget. Am I right?
Yes, correct.
So there's no best country to go to at the moment.
I think parents were worried because I noticed that the current trend now is like some parents, they want to keep their kids, locally first.
Totally correct.
Yeah. Even I myself, if you ask me to send my student off now, I'm also worried. Yeah, with the current situation, the pandemic situation,
Is
because yeah, I have to think from the point of my students. You see?
a lot of twinning options at the moment. I mean, considering now during this pandemic, like, will university offer more of twinning program just to see how things go?
We do have universities here locally that offer training program. They have already have articulated programs that, with certain university in certain countries. So that is one of the options. Alternatively, they can step back to do a program like foundation, or even like A levels. Later on, when the pandemic is slowly, is more stable, then they can go off to the countries that they want.
Okay.
Of course, I always tell students, you make sure you got to know that what program you want to do at degree level, because certain foundation program is the feeder to go into that particular universities. What if the foundation that you have chosen is not recognized in that particular university? Then you might have a chance to redo your foundation. So have to think twice on what program you want to choose.
Oh, you need to redo your foundation.
If let's say they does not accept that foundation,
Oh,
that kind of problem, I would say that chances is very slim. Most of the
okay.
time, universities, they will look into your syllabus, the content of the subjects. So far, we've only had few cases. So we will advise students, we will always sit down with students to find out what they want at degree level. Then we will advise the best route for them.
Oh, so first year is usually the most important, I mean, foundation,
Yes.
the
Or first,
choice of your foundation.
yes, correct. Or the first 18 months, if let's say they are doing an A levels program. And they will have to look into what are the subjects they would like to choose,
Mm-hmm.
like programs like medicine, or even like dentistry. They have certain prerequisites. When you come back to Malaysia, you've got to comply with the regulations here. So you've got to know the minimum entry requirements to when you come back, you're eligible to register with the board. So these are the things we will advise students accordingly, and we will try to look into these areas so that we make sure our students, they are on the path to their dream.
So just one more question for me. So your educational support services, would it extend beyond first year? I mean, what if the students, after doing 18 months of studies and decided that they want a transfer or they want to change course? Would you be able to help with that, or I need to engage a new agent?
No, it's okay. Once you're a student, you're always our student. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yes.
you take care of the student until they graduate.
Yes. Until like just now I mentioned, even when they are there, I still keep in touch with my students because I got to make sure they are safe. They are doing well in the academy. I always tell my students, any questions, come back to me. I will be your middleman to liaise with universities.
Mm.
If you even have problems with your studies, let me know. I will try to even like map up with your mentors or find a senior to assist you on that. This is what we can do, because the moment we send the students off, our responsibility will be until they graduate. We got to make sure they succeed or even progress to do the things that they want to. It's not just the first year you enroll with me. Once our student, forever our student.
That's good to know. So
Yeah.
KP has another question. What will happen if other countries are still having their lockdown, or if like a second or third wave hits? Do we have to study our foundation or pre-U online? How would the application go?
Okay, depends on which country. If let's say currently Australia, they are still locked down, so students will have to do their pre-U or foundation online. Okay, the moment the border is open, then students will have to go back. Okay, so as for UK, at the moment, they already open up the border and they allow international students to go back. But there are certain criteria. They are trying to sort of like, you know, maintain social distancing, whereby big classes like lectures that are like 100 students or 80 students and above, it will be fully online. But small classes like tutorials, discussion group, it will be face to face. They are trying to reduce the, you know, social distancing issues and follow the SOPs. But of course, at the end of the day, if let's say students really thinks that going back to study is a risk, then I would advise them maybe it's either you study locally first and then you later on you transfer, so that you won't waste, you won't lose out on the time, because every year we have so many students graduate. If you are able to map out with the time frame, so let's say start now, do a foundation program here or even like A levels here, then at least you still stand a chance, you know, to compete with the rest, like with your peers who already started the program. And I saw another one. Okay. How will the application go? We will help students to apply, okay? So even up to the visa application, we will still monitor. We will help students to monitor. Like recently, I have students who returned, already completed their foundation, come back to Malaysia, trying to apply for the visa to go to UK, because UK border is already open. So he will have to fly to KL to do the biometric submission and waiting for his visa. It's still okay. You are still able to apply for visa for UK. It's just that there are certain criteria that you have to fulfill. Yeah. And we will even guide students on the do's and don'ts prior to departure, so that we will brief you, like for instance, what are things that you need to bring, maybe what are the things that you need to look into when you first arrive. So we will guide students along the way. So don't worry, as if let's say that country, the border is still locked down, we will tell you, we will advise. Yeah, because student safety is the main concern at the moment. Yeah.
So what if the students have already arranged for accommodation and then during this lockdown they're unable to go back? Will you be able to help them arrange maybe, I don't know, a refund or another alternative arrangement, delay the rental? Will you be doing that?
We will be liaising with the universities, because for my students, if let's say they rent the premises outside themselves, then the external party, I will not be able to involve. But of course, we will try to speak to the landlord, because pandemic is not something that we want. It's something so sudden that hit the whole world. So we do help students to liaise with, you know, like, you know, external party. For instance, we work with Casita. We help students try to delay the payments, okay, or even like to negotiate for a better rate during this pandemic time. And for universities, we will be able to help them to get refund, because that is a guarantee one. Yeah.
So if the course becomes an online course, the student get a refund of the fees or just a partial refund?
They will do the adjustment later on. That's what university has informed some of my students. Like they have to inform when tentatively you will be expecting to arrive. So they will adjust the start of the date of the contract so that they can push it later. They will do adjustment internally. But for external party, it will depend on the external landlord. Some landlord, they might not want to let you extend the contract. Okay, they will just ask you to pay. So it depends on the landlord, but we will try our best to help students to sort things out.
Okay. All right. Any more questions?
Bear in mind that I have to highlight to students, even though there is a period of time that you can apply anytime, but we always try to tell students apply as soon as possible, because the moment you have an offer letter on hand, you will be able to decide or even like compare between two offers. Whichever you think is more attractive, then you accept later on. Don't wait until like after you complete your IGCSE, after you complete your SPM, only then you apply. That will be a little bit too late, because bear in mind, if let's say you are going to apply for visa, it will be very rushed. So I have students intend to go to Australia next year. They've already applied and got an offer. So you can apply now using your current like midterm result, even like, you know, your school report card. You are allowed to do that. And another thing is that because you apply early, you are able to know that what are the requirements, what are the grades required. You still have time to work out for your SPM or your IGCSE final exam. So you still have time, you know, to put in more efforts to meet the entry requirements. Yeah.
All right. I hope that answers Kathy's questions. Any questions from Tim and Moses?
They are all in Form 5 this year, or?
Can I, if you're too shy to speak, just type in the chat window, which form are you at?
Oh,
So Moses in A level,
okay.
and
Tim, which year are you in now?
Form 5.
Oh, Form 5.
Katie's Form 5 and Tim is A level as well.
Okay. So Tim, you are doing the A, you are currently doing the AS or A2? AS, okay. How about Moses? AS2, okay, okay. So what are the programs that you guys intend to do later on? Got any idea?
Don't be shy. We can we have plenty of time and we can have a chat to see where you want to go. Like if you have an idea, like ambition or a particular area of interest, just throw it out, and then maybe Jocelyn and Jen can give you some ideas where to look and where to think. Anyone? Wow.
Intelligence and comp science. So Moses, where do you plan to go to? Study locally or overseas? Or you plan to do a training program?
It's very interesting.
It's one of
it's very new.
Yes, that will be the trend in the future.
It's good to do it now.
Yes. Locally for degree and overseas. Okay, okay.
Sounds like a plan.
There is only a handful of universities offering artificial intelligence AI programs, but ComScience there's quite a fair bit of university offering it. And AI at the moment, the one that has been running for a while, I know would be Nottingham University. Okay, Asia Pacific universities, they have this program as well. Okay, the upcoming ones I heard that is on the pipeline that might offer would be Curtin. They are planning to run that in Miri campus. Apart from that, only a handful, but ComScience we have a lot. We have Monash universities, okay, even like Nottingham, they have this program. Curtin, Swinburne, they have this program as well. If you are looking for transfer options. Locally would be APU, Asia Pacific Universities. There are a lot of universities. Yeah. Moses, do you mind to send me a message so that I can drop you a list of universities that you can, you know, I can share more information with you. You can always text me or Jen. Send my message here.
So other than Moses, how about Tim? Tim, do you have any idea which area you would like to pursue? Is Tim still there? Yeah.
Not yet. I've not decided. It's okay. Tim, what are the subjects you are taking at AS now? Science or art subjects? Science subjects, cool. That give you more options later on. Yeah, because from science to switch to art is possible. From art to switch to science is not possible. So it's a good choice. Okay.
So if you don't know what to do, go for science subjects first.
Provided you can cope in A levels, because A levels is not an easy program.
Yeah.
How about Kathy? What program do you intend to do later on? Any idea, Kathy?
Wow, medicine.
Wow. Okay. So medicine, you plan to do it locally or overseas? Or both? Oh, overseas. Medicine has always been quite an expensive program. But of course, if you are looking at a program that you are able to do it locally and yet get the overseas qualifications, Monash University, Newcastle Universities, IMU, they're also offering pathway to transfer out, or even RCSIU CD universities, which used to be Penang Medical Schools. These are the options that you can consider. Kathy, maybe you can drop me a message, then I can send you the fees, like what are the entry requirements, because for medicine program, most of the time, apart from good results, there are other things you need to comply. For instance, you need to take up the aptitude test, you have to go through interview. These are the things that you have to look into.
Yeah.
So
please get in
medicine is
touch.
very specific. Yes, it's very specific. So I always advise students, get the information as early as possible so that during your foundation year, you have time to prepare for it. Because either one of these criteria you didn't meet, you are not eligible to get an offer. And certain universities, they have a cap. So which means like every cohort, they can only take in like 100 students, 150 students. Once fill up, is fill up. Yeah. So prepare earlier is better.
Yeah. So better to get all the information first and decide. With proper information and counseling, it will be much easier and less mistakes, I would say, in making decisions that you might need to rectify in the future.
Yes, correct.
So any more questions? This is really good. I am loving this. Very interactive, personalized, and don't be shy. There are only a few of us here.
I'm not that fierce. Feel free to ask any questions.
So is there any more question? If there's no more question, I'd like to wrap this out.
Sure. Feel free to contact her.
Yes, Kathy and Moses, since you guys have already have an idea what you want to do, and it's very difficult for Miss Jocelyn or Jen to just give you a general information, so best to get in touch so that they could send you a list of requirements at least, or the university you could look into. And for team, it's okay to have no idea. I had no idea what I wanted to do at Form 5.
Me too. Yeah.
So talk to more people and feel free to attend the seminars at the rest of the day. We have a lot. You can go on to login.org and just click register and go into every room if you're unsure. So if you're unsure, just go to every room and have a look, have a feel what you like. Maybe you'll find inspiration or what you want to do. Okay? So thank you so much, Miss Jocelyn and Jen, for joining us, and thank you to all the participants who have taken part in this event. And we have a surprise for these attendees. We will be sending out an email after the event to announce the winner of a spot prize for this session.
Good.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And team Katie and Moses, I hope to see you in more seminars today and next week. All right.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that Miss Jocelyn and Jen want the contact information, email? I think you have, okay, you have done the email.
I've listed down. Yeah.
Yep. So thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot, Crystal.
Thank you, Jocelyn. That was very good. I really like the interaction towards the end. I think that's what I would suggest to all the other moderators as well. I think that is much better than doing just a general presentation. I think this is a chance to do a one-on-one consultation online, which is not that time consuming.
Yes, and I think that presentation sometimes might be boring because every agents or every institution, they're offering the same program or same services. And maybe what made us very special will be a personalized touch. Like we do provide very detailed or tiny information. We send it to students. And all our services are free of charge.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I was learning as well, because before this event, I read out on your website and everything. I roughly know what you do. I was surprised that Zoe are free.
Yes. Everything is free.
And then you take care of them until they graduate. This is new to me as well, because during my time, I don't think that I've gotten that services. Like they basically admit you. Once you're admitted,
and that bye-bye, that's your own problem.
That's it. You have to graduate on your own. And if I have any problems, like if I can't graduate, maybe I need to re-engage them or find another agent, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe the only thing I didn't provide will be matchmaking. Who knows, I might do it for my
Oh, you're an
students later on.
education matchmaker. I love the tagline.
The
Very
tagline, right?
smart.
Yeah, that is the only services that I don't provide at the moment. Who knows, I might.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes when students are overseas, they might find their so-called partner there.
Yes, away
Never
from
know.
family, in a new
Yeah,
environment, you know. I've seen a lot of that during my time.
yeah. And the reason why I keep in touch with my students, sometimes I think that at a new place, even though they have problems, they will not want to open up to others. I have seen this kind of students. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my role is to be like, Pik Jeje and Pik Koko, just to help them so that they have a person, to speak to share their problems with. And sometimes students have problems that they not tell the parents.
Mm.
So I have to find ways to pass the message to the parents, to channel them so that, they will
You
not
guys,
feel so lonely.
you guys are like the unpaid therapists,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Maintaining
that's
a
what we do.
relationship with the students even after the admission and all. I was surprised, seriously. Because during my time, I don't think I have experienced that.
We try to maintain that relationship because at the end of the day, if let's say our services are good, word of mouth will spread.
Yes.
Like those students who have given us the testimonial, and we actually ask them to, all these are alumni from
Yeah.
law school,
Yeah.
from law school groups. So we would just tell them, send us a short notes, even like 3 or 4 sentences. They are more than happy to help us. Of course, I believe that services will testify for ours, for us.
Mm.
At the end of the day, if they think that we are good, they will recommend their friends. So most of our students are actually from referrals.
Ah. Yeah. And they have siblings too, don't forget that.
Yes, or aunties or cousins. Yeah.
Okay. So any more
Okay.
sessions today for you guys?
I will be joining my other partners' sessions just to help
Ah,
out in case they have any questions. Then we will log on to answer the questions, just like
okay.
what
Then
Jen do for me. Yeah.
okay. Then I'll see you around. I don't know whether I'll still be moderating in your next session or not.
No worries.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye. Take
Bye.
care and stay safe.
You too.
Bye.